Take the bass line out. Y'all niggas know me to fail. Fuck nah, we all my niggas with the rubber grips. One shot, and if you with me, mama, rubber your tits and whatnot. I'm from the school of the hard knocks. What's not? And outsiders violate our block. And my block, let's think of the world and split it 50-50. Let's take the dough and stay real jiggy. Let's sip the Chris and get busy. Flow infinitely like the memory of my nigga Biggie. Baby, you know it's hell when I come through. Like the times of Sean Carter, nigga, volume 2.
It's the regular season, and For us, it's regular season end. For us, who's gonna shit instead of leaving? Who's gonna sit? It's the DBA. Controlling the house. Listen, don't come on here secretly. Hit that like button and identify yourself. No spies today. None. We don't want no spies today. We want all love on this Memorial Day. It's been no love all day. I need love today. Memorial Day, whatever y'all want to call this shit. But we live. We back. We about to get at it. About to talk about the most important week 16, 17, and 18 that we ever had in this league. Thus far, I mean, this shit's trifling. If you go to strictly standings, just the standings, skip. I don't think they seen any cheating like this before. There, skip. Listen, it was 18 fighting for the playoff spot at the last game of the regular season. Skip, what do you think about that? In the AFC, we're in week 18, and only 2 teams have solidified playoff spots. 2. C1, Baltimore Ravens. C2, Denver Broncos. Now, we had some matchups that had to happen amongst some of these teams. So let's talk about it. The Bills were going up against the Dolphins in week 18 for the division. The Browns were in the 6th seed, and they had to play the Baltimore Ravens week 18 for seeding. The Raiders needed to win against the Broncos in their game for remaining in the playoffs and seeding. Things had to happen. They go Skip. Where you been at, Skip? Skip is on vacation. I got to do the show by myself. Oh, Lord. All right, the Raiders I talked about. Now, the Patriots had to beat the Eagles to make themselves relevant in the playoffs, and they needed some things to happen. That didn't happen. Texans and Jaguars lined up, and as you can see, they both had the same record. They both don't have the same record anymore. So you saw some games being played, some things that happen in these games that will predict who's what, where, when, and why. So what we do know is that we can now crown the Buffalo Bills the AFC East champions once again. Is this year four straight seasons that the Bills have won the division?
Someone says their worst year, but they still won the division.
Still won the division, man. Still won that shit. You said you didn't join chat. You want? Come over here, man. Somebody got ahead of everybody. I need Skip. I need you, Skip. Skip! I need you, Skip. Skip! Did you already indulge? Here.
Yo.
Skip! Skip! I need you, Skip. Where you at, Skip? There you go. Skip!
Still unavailable.
Fuck, we gonna do something a little different.
Show Guns in the building.
It ain't gonna be
back.
Right. Welcome back, Guns. It ain't gonna be super different, but what we gonna do is we gonna do something different. I want to know during a down season. Some will say, I already explained what I thought the Bills' problem was. I don't think that. First of all, the quarterback is still who he is. You go read the news. The news tells you who that quarterback is. We know who he is over there. We definitely know who he is. He's a dangerous quarterback. He's one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. We understand that. But they did lose 6 games this year. Let's talk about this. Did the Patriots let them off the hook?
I wouldn't say an emphatic yes. I think the Patriots came into the season knowing that they were the team to beat. Talking about the Bills, and let's just call a spade with a spade. He hung up 50 on him week 1, and since that point in time, once he hung up 50 on him, the Patriots were nonchalant about the whole season. And he finished 9-8, giving out forced wins. Not worrying about it. And You know, Patriots only got themselves to blame, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. I spoke highly of this on last night's show, the attitudes and how this league, no matter what, the competition somehow makes guys lose their fucking minds. And I think that's a meltdown for the Patriots. Now, it's a big if, right? Like you know, you can't just count your game. Oh, I beat him before, or I beat him by 50. I'm gonna get him again. That's never there. But you got to play the game to find out, and they didn't play that game, right? So that's why I say he got let off the hook. I don't think that for a moment that the Patriots would have been safe in that game at all. What I do know is you got to at least play that game.
Facts.
And how scenarios go, because the moment he didn't play that game, and meanwhile, while the Dolphins is tearing up shit outside of their division, they put themselves in a situation to come down to week 18. You built your team for the last two drafts for that moment. Just think about this. Young Camden and those Miami Dolphins built that team for 2 years straight for the moment that they got, either last night or this morning. I don't think that for a moment that the Patriots would have been safe in that game at all. Now, you come out of this game and you say two things to your team. Come on, fucking hitter. Skip, turn that shit off, Skip. Skip! Turn
Yeah.
that shit off, Skip! Hey, you do two things in these situations, cuz. You line up, you came, you saw, and got conquered. It's all good. You got listen, before I talk my shit and my criticisms, understand it's a development and putting a team together late the way you did. So when you go to the draft and you attack and you got guys in your last two draft classes, somewhere between rounds 1 and 4 are all starting on this football team right now. I mean, you have a bunch of young pups running around right now. And we all know the Bills aren't built completely as super young pups. They collectively snatch any free agent that's available at the time that they're available, and they become Bills. They don't even tell them, they don't lie to them or nothing. Fuck, they don't be like, well, we got 8 receivers right now, but you can still come over here and you're going to start. Huh? And somehow sign them. Yo, free agents don't care. They just want to go to Buffalo. They don't give a fuck. Now, I don't know if I'm starting or not. I don't know if I'm going to start over here or not, but I'm going anyway. Fuck it. But
Fuck 'em.
anyway, motherfucking, the Dolphins has built his team, especially through the defense. Now, let me ask you, Falk. The Buffalo Bills went in there and hung 60 up. Reclaimed that division. That's nothing for the Dolphins to hang their heads, right? What do you say to your young team after that moment? You know, y'all in a situation to be able to win your division for the first time in a long time.
Yeah,
And
just got to just got to do work. I mean, they still in the playoffs, it looks like, and they just got to shake it off. You know, everybody have a bad loss here and there. And, you know, they're young, so you know, just chalk it up to inexperience and just get ready for next week.
what I'm doing is I'm talking to my young team that we starting to assemble within these last two drives, and I'm telling them, we brought y'all here for this game. Remember that score. Remember that feeling right here because this is what we brought y'all in. When we called y'all on draft day, we asked y'all, were y'all ready to help us beat the Buffalo Bills? Not, are you ready to be a Dolphin? We want to know, are you coming here to help us beat the Buffalo fucking Bills? So remember this game. Write it down, take a picture. I give a fuck. Do something. Because you have to remember this shit. And when you get there and those guys are ready to play, and y'all had this moment again, they got to go back to this very moment of, you know, letdown that the team had. But I think you can excuse a team like that though too. A young team like that, bro, they just not ready yet. Um, and then you
Yeah,
can't take away from what they're doing this season. Like they're really fighting hard right now. Like you said, they still have a shot for the playoffs. If you look at the AFC right now, we have 3 teams at 10-7. My thing, Falk, if you look at the standings, it looks like they're all safe.
yeah, I think they all in. Think Nano the wild man out.
And I think they're all safe. Now the problem is the seeding is going to matter now when we advance, right? So the Raiders, the Browns, and the Dolphins all have the same record right now. They all are already in the playoffs as of week 17. Coming into week 18, all of them took a loss week 18. But there's no other team that can jump them, three teams, because they're only 7 loss teams. Everybody else got 8 or more losses over there. On the other side of it, the Lions will get in. Chargers for on vacation, so that's a forfeit win for the Lions, and which cancels the Cowboys' chance to get in.
Can we real quick, not to cut you off, go to AFC standings and go to points scored, points against. Look at the Browns. Is that not a coincidence or what?
AFC, right?
Yeah, AFC, go to the Browns. Points for scored, points against.
Oh wow,
That's
at 10 and
crazy, ain't
7,
it?
510 points scored, 510 points given up. I
Wow.
mean, what do you say about that though?
That's just wow. That's just there's style to that.
I mean, if this is your team and you're in this situation, what message you send to your team?
Hmm. We gotta do better. We gotta do better on both sides of the ball. We gave up we scored 510, which is bottom half of the league. We gave up 510, which is up there up in the league. We still 10-7, but we can stack that up a little bit. 150 point swing, 175 point swing. We might be 13-4. You know what I mean? 14-3.
Yeah, I mean that makes
Something to think
sense.
about. Something to think about.
Analytics, that makes sense. Like a motherfucker. Yes, sir. Um, Now on the NFC side is not as complicated as it was because you had the Eagles was in a big game, right? And the Lions would have had a big game, which would have been the 49ers. The Cowboys made that a big game, but again, a forced win was given out. So I think the Lions are safe. And even if the Eagles didn't handle business today against the Patriots, they would have still been in the playoffs. They already had an X next to their name. So you can look over here and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now that the Lions are going to be 10 and 7, they're going to stay in. So that's the 17 in the NFC. So our playoffs are locked on the NFC side. Nothing's going to change. Everybody's where they at or going to stay where they at, and they're the games they're going to have to play. Now on the other side of things, we have no idea how this is going to happen. Before I advance the league, we have to recognize, the week 18 matchups that was very important. So as we go to the league schedule, you just look at the front end of it. Texans went into Jacksonville and lost 40-28. Jacksonville came on strong their last couple of games to put themselves back in the situation and make the playoffs. I think that solidified the division, and they are once again in front of the division as a champion. So let's talk to the champion of the AFC South right now. You're back. Just a year ago, you had the Texans coach screaming it was his division. What's the feeling? What's the feeling coming out of Jacksonville right now? Coming out of Duval, what's the feeling?
Um, the feeling is good. I must, we worked hard this year. It was we had a team that got old very quickly, and I was kind of on the end with the mindset that it may take us a year or two to be able to bring in the younger talent and kind of reset. Um, but this team, veterans and young players combined, they rallied. And we read the tabloids. I'll be lying if I say that we wasn't reading, we wasn't seeing the headlines. We don't know what was said. So we played with pride. We played together, and we were able to get by a very well coached and good Texans team.
Now, let me ask you, man. It's been an up and down year for you all year. And with some new pieces, we've seen a wide receiver room change. You had a lineman to retire on you this year, but you had a running back, that's being able, not going to make us forget about Travis Etienne. He's a legend in this league. He's a legend in Jacksonville and Duval. But just tell me how important Brees Hall is and the fact that you guys drafted him at the time y'all did, and how important he is becoming to your program right now.
Um, he actually stepped up and became one of the leaders of our team. He stayed in the background and respected the veterans that we had that were on our squad, but it was actually one of the some of the team lead veterans that came up and said, look, we appreciate as an organization that you guys are feeding us the ball and trying to cater. They was like, this kid is ready to step up. And even Travis was like, there's nothing else I can teach him. Turn him loose.
Take the chain
So
off of him.
yeah.
Take the chain
So
off that pit bull and let him go.
and we got a brand new, we got a new coach. I think this is what, maybe his second season. So it took the vote of confidence from the veterans to get him to kind of loosen up on his reluctancy to depend on the young guys and
Sound
they
like it
gave
was a
Brees
take the
the keys.
politics moment out of it. Take the politics out of the NFL, and let's just look at pure talent and who deserves to be on the field.
Mm-hmm. And with Travis saying, look, it's his time. So the past few weeks, we've been feeding him the football. I'm laughing. We took him 29 carries to get us past the Texans. So
29 of them things. Oh, you ain't the only one that had a 29 to 30 carry performance. We've seen a lot of butt balling happening in week 18. We had some butt ball happening week 18. Now that we great talk about the butt balling that happened week 18.
Oh
Excuse me,
God.
Mr. Dot 'em up man. Where's Skip at?
Since you brought
Skip!
that up,
Since you brought that up, Skip!
yeah.
Let's talk about that Atlanta Falcon Arizona Cardinal Week 18 matchup. Hmm.
Oh my God.
Skadames. Don't be speechless now, nigga. Let's talk, baby. Let's talk about these
Oh my
matchups
God.
right now. Let's go talk about this. Throwing around the park. These niggas out here butt balling all game. Fucking the Raiders with fucking 30 carries a game. And then week 18 shows up. And we go into the player stats. I mean, I can appreciate 210 yards passing, one touchdown, no pick. You taught this young man, like, is this not real talk? Is this coaching right here? You're on your way into the playoffs. You got the number one seed. You got to keep that locked down. How did you get Nico to believe?
I just told him just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Put this on the back of your O line and your running back who was underutilized this season, and enjoy the ride. Be that Alex Smith, be that game manager. Um, you know, but I have to put a disclaimer out there. I had to call my counterpart. I apologize. I apologize for just that.
Kamar Wheaton had a career day on carries, not yards, on carries. Career day. This is the most he's carried the ball in his career.
Yeah, that's about 3 games worth of carries right there.
199, 6.6, and 6 rushing touchdowns. Now, but real talk. How important was it to be able to establish that though?
Yeah, I mean it's just setting the tone, man. Setting the tone for the playoffs. That the league is trending with guys moving the chains and getting 2-3 yards a pop and getting guys on fire and just running that. What I mean, running that in the hole. So the playoffs are won with no adjustments and running the ball right. And keeping your guy off balance and your passing stats may be brief but you know, you might have 6 touchdowns rushing. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, it's just really a copycat league.
That's let's get to it. That's what I was going to get to. Sound like you mirroring somebody here.
I mean, you know, listen. All I'm gonna say is when I apologized to T, he said I thought I was playing the Bucks today. Shout out to the
Excuse me,
Bucks.
Dougie.
Not when you
So
win 3
shout
Super
out to the
Bowls,
Bucks.
it
Ain't
make
no
you the
shade.
standard. 3 in a row. He's the standard right now.
Ain't no
Oh my
shade,
God.
but shout out to the Bucks. That's who you know. That's who he thought I was playing today, just because you know I mimicked your playing style today. So shout out to the Bucks.
Thank you, Craig.
He gonna lightly just say I mimicked this shit. He stole the shit out of his system.
Thank you, Craig.
Oh God, 30 of them for 199. He ain't go bonkers. He said 30 for 199. I'm
But they hit the
averaging
6
six.
touchdowns. So that's what Craig might not have 30 carries. So let's stop there. But Craig will have 180, 190, but he'll have 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So that means he'll have those yards, those drives where he's getting down the red zone and he's just punching it in. So that's what we imitated today.
How important was it though for you to get this game won though?
Well, it was important too because I might see the Falcons again. So it was cool. It was good to gauge them, to see what kind of opponent they'd be, to see their strengths, their weaknesses. And then it was possibly the first seed. And just with the NFC being just loaded right now with the addition of the Packers, YouTube Shorty and T, and then you got 3 16-1 teams. It's just loaded, man. So if I only got to play 3 games instead of 4, or 2 games instead of 3 to get to the Super Bowl over here, that's motivation enough because this league, this conference is loaded.
And you know what? It is. The NFC is fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna say this: in our own right, in the AFC is a different ridiculous. If that makes sense. But the NFC is fucking the powerhouse of
Yeah,
the.
like come on, 3 16-1 teams, and we all beat each other. Like you know what I'm saying? Like T don't lose no games, but to me and the Bucks, right?
Right.
The Packers don't pretty much lose no games, but to the you know what I mean, like to the top dogs. Max lose a 1 possession game to the
Mm-hmm.
Bucks. Bucks lose
Mm-hmm.
a 1 possession game to the Cards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Cards, get on and get handled by the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? Like it just was a crazy year.
Now, Skip,
Skip.
we know in virtual football, the football team is your football team. Now, Skip Bayless in real life like those Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about the football team and where you feel like you are at this point right now. We had a long year for you, man. Your quarterback was fighting addiction. Um, where do you go from there?
Just try to turn the page. We've been here before. It ain't nothing new. Up and down seasons. It's just the way the league goes. We might be next year's Broncos. You never know.
Okay, I mean I like the little rebuttal. Next year the Broncos.
I mean, it was rumored out there that you're gonna get rid of your whole coaching staff, the trainers.
Nah,
You gonna go get my
come back
guy.
stronger. I had a lot of young players on the field this year.
Yeah, but now they were saying you're gonna go get my man, to help Barry Bonds out. Shit, Balco.
Nah, no juicing over here. All natural.
All natural. We ain't trying
All
that shit.
Holistic.
natural,
Yeah, we
from the
holistic
mud,
over here.
from the
Holistic like a
mud.
motherfucker from the
Yeah.
fucking
No, that's
mud.
right.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, let's talk about running backs and their carries in week 18 and how fuck done set a fucking standards. So let's look at the Patriots and the Eagles,
I'm just ashamed of myself.
55-21. Listen, is this? Do you give credit to Rob to go in the sit home
Yeah, I
at
mean,
Philadelphia and hang
I'm of the
55?
mindset Rob is year in year out in the playoffs. He wins a game here and there, but he got to take that next step, man. He got the formula. He got the QB. He got the team. You know, anything less than a conference championship is just a failure in my eyes, man.
What?
Like he'll get to that second round and he'll get aired by the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like if he want to be considered a big dog, this is what he gotta. You know what I mean? He gotta get out of that poodle status.
What I'm gonna say it like this: it seemed like the running game was the winning formula in Week 18. We had Zamir White, Zeus, who had a really good season all year, 25 carries. I mean, Israel touched the ball 18 times. He had 9 yards of pop in this game for 162, but on a losing effort, Zamir touched the ball 25 times. And not for nothing, Darren Thomas also had. This is why we heard, man, fuck that. I don't feel like spying all game long. 8 carries for 111. He was killing you with the quarterback.
you would think after like third carry, like, all right, let me put a spy on it. It's mind-boggling.
So you come out of that game, a very impressed. I mean, if I'm the Eagles, bro, if I'm the Eagles, I'm excited about this win going into the game, to the Giants game. But let's talk about this. You got to go to a nemesis, a guy that you haven't beaten in a long time. New York Giants, division mates. So how excited are you going into the playoffs? Like, do you compliment your team for this win and then get right to work? Falk? Ain't that the thing you're supposed to do? Get right the fuck to work.
Yeah, I think they got to get right to work, man. Because I mean, the Giants. I think the Eagles don't know this, man. That they gotta start producing when they count, or they just gonna be a quality player.
You go into the Bucks last week. They had Week 18. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans for a little bit. I can appreciate the Tennessee Titans, and here's why. When you got a guy, no nonsense guy too. His personality is exactly how he is. Like on the game, you could tell what type of real nigga he is in real life. I'll tell you right now. He told me, man, that's bullshit. Riddell ain't just leave his team like that. I hear you, but he fuck out of here. But anyway, that's near and near there. I just like certain personalities. But the Tennessee Titans played good football, in my opinion, this year. If you look at that division, you saw 3 teams really fighting for number 1 seed in that division. And usually the Tennessee Titans are not one of those 3 teams. And I think they assembled themselves and created something special over there that I think that they're going to better build off of and continue into the future. That to me is called hard work. And we was both on last night when the Bucks was playing this game, and it sounded like he was, very frustrated in this game. But we're still sticking to the running back theme today, all right? Although Ray Wills went fucking bonkers. We're going to talk about the running backs. 16 carries, 4 rushing touchdowns. This is what you're talking about with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? 16 carries, 140 yards, 8.8, 4 rushing touchdowns. Hayden also had 19 carries. So we're seeing the run game was productive in Week 18 for all these teams so far. We already showed the Cardinals. We already showed the Falcons situation. We come down here, 31-20, Bengals, Colts game. Not to disrespect them, but you guys aren't really postseason conversations, so I'm not going to waste my time there. The Giants had a computer game against the Jets. Raiders, Broncos, 63-28. Now remember, this last time they played, it was a 42-45 game. Do you think Jimbo made a statement here? This is what I mean by guys understanding Week 18. In my opinion, I think Jimbo said, I got to come into this game and play real and get ready for the playoffs. And I think he lined up and played that type of football. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm right. Shout out to the Raiders, though. I gave him his praises yesterday, but shout out to the Raiders. Shedeur Sanders, in a human game, and we haven't seen this in a while, come out with 134.5 QB rating, 638 passing yards, folks. This man threw 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Let me ask you, just a breakout game for Shedeur at the right moment?
Yeah, I think the Broncos saying he's ready. He's ready.
I agree. Now, Tremaine Bass said, fuck it, we getting air. Let's solidify the MVP. 28 carries, 217, 7.8, 2 touchdowns. Let me ask you though. Fuck the carries. Take the carries away from it. Is this the best running back in the league right now?
Nah, no. I wouldn't even say he top 5.
Huh?
I wouldn't say he top 5.
Anybody else? Skip. I know you don't agree with this shit,
Top
Skip.
5.
Skip, do you? I know you do not agree with
You
this
want to
shit
listen to
right
my
now.
logic? You want to listen to my
Sure.
logic?
I love to listen to the logic all the
I
time.
can name 10 running backs that if I gave 500 carries to would do more than what this guy's doing. You don't think Israel had 500 carries, he wouldn't have 4,000 yards? You don't think Boone Jackson? You know what I mean? You wouldn't think Ruggs? What you think Ruggs would do with 500 carries?
I mean, it makes sense.
What,
If you
what,
plan.
what, what would Spiller do with 500 carries? What would the running back at the Niners that had 200 yards on me do with 500 carries? I'm sorry, man. Like, like he's the definition of, just he get utilized. You know what I mean? He get utilized, right? You know what I mean, to the T. So he's going to be productive, yeah. But is he great? By no means, no. There's nothing that guy does that you're like. First of all, for 500 carries, he should have at least an extra 1,000 yards if he was like that. He's just getting a lot of carries, so he's chugging away. 500 carries, he should be at 4,000 yards.
All right. I hear you. Is he the most durable running back in the league?
I mean, you could run your guy 30 times a game and they'll be tired. So I don't know if that's really something you want to say he is.
All
I can
right.
run 10 straight times, right, and not be tired, correct?
I believe you. I did it today.
Yeah. So I
About
mean,
whole
do we really want to
third or
say
fourth
you really
quarter.
want to talk about durability with this guy? I'm just asking you, if you had 500 carry with Bijan, what would you do?
I have 6,000
Answer the
yards
question.
rushing right now. Six.
So that's my point. That's my point exactly. You know what I mean? Like I can't. He's back-to-back MVP. Salute to him. But again, how many 1,000-yard receivers the Raiders got? One.
I thought that was impressive because they had today.
Hold on.
Listen, their quarterback had 1,000 yards too this year, though. I will say that.
This
Derek King rushed for 1,000 though. Fuck.
but look, the standard is at least 3,000-yard receivers, correct? I think the whole league got that. He impressed with one.
Yeah, but
Just saying.
how many guys can have 2,000-yard rushers?
There's some teams out here that did it. I think the Giants did it. Some teams out here that did it.
Ain't nobody else do that shit but me.
Yeah,
Three.
Ravens. Like there's some teams out there that can do it. That got, but again, I mean, I think a lot of teams could do. I'm not knocking the Raiders. I'm just saying, man. Like when you give your guy that many carries, he's supposed to have exceptional numbers. He don't have exceptional numbers. You almost caught up 20 yards and you got 150 less carries.
Yeah. Nah.
I mean, it's just numbers, man. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I can't say he's the best in the league and he's getting the ball like he's 90% of their offense.
I will go a little farther than that. Nah, I'll give Derek King 10%. I'll give him 10% of the offense.
What about you facing teams knowing that you're going to run?
There goes the rebuttal.
And
There
they
you go,
still don't
Skip.
stop you.
Again.
As I said again, I will give him some credit in that, but then that goes explains the 1,000-yard receiver.
But you know what I think though? I think that's a good rebuttal hitter. But I'll tell you like this: if I'm planning, he can have all them damn rushing yards, long as nothing else happens. Because look at it, look what happened. The Broncos gave up 217 yards rushing on 28 carries, and still hung 65, 60 something points on them. So in that point, it's like, go ahead, run your way into Now what happens when the running game is working? Then he's in the shootout. Broncos 45, Raiders 42. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a difference. Like if I'm playing somebody that's running like that, you know they're gonna run the ball the whole game. All it takes is for 10 yards, get 10 yards 3 times. At any moment of the game, you get 3 carries for 10 yards out of 40 carries. your guy on fire, and now you can literally average 5 yards a pop after that. So what I'm saying is, it still takes skill to do what he's doing, and this is what I like to harness. Let's talk about a guy who's developing. Fuck, when you said he got what 1,000 yard receiver, well, that's a new accomplishment for him. So that means that's development right there, right? So that means
Oh
he's
yeah,
taking that next step.
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm
Right,
just
right,
looking
right.
at the amount of carries, man. And he got 500 carries, and he got 3,000 yards. It's not impressive.
It's just running back.
500 carries, 4,000 yards, 4,500 yards.
Ray
That's
Ray,
impressive.
my only question right now, Ray Ray, tell the truth. Does Tremaine feet hurt? This feet hurt. How does he
Told
handle?
y'all not to step on my bunions.
He tried to shoot me in the pinky toe. Hey, how his feet, man? How he take care of his feet? That motherfucker got smoke coming out of his shoes. He a dog. All right, so let's look at this game right here, man. You know, the Bills went to sunny Miami in December, January, and hung up 65. Well, how does this happen right now? Me, I think the Dolphins are heading in the right direction, but they're still super young and developing. But go ahead. How does this happen?
It's just a lack of focus. I think the Bills came in knowing that they had to make a statement going into the playoffs. When people could look at the record and be like, "Ah, he fell off," right?
Yeah, yep.
And I think the Bills and Hoodie said, "Nah, not so fast. To get me out of these playoffs, you're gonna have to come with your A game." And I think that's what it was about more than anything. That the Bills ain't to be played with in that AFC. You just reminding people that.
I'm gonna just tell you
And they
like
got to
this.
make statements for.
Weber said this, man. Look, coach. Fuck all that game plan and shit, and all these new weapons I'm unfamiliar with that you keep bringing in all fucking free agencies and practice squad, whatever the fuck you getting these guys from. Give me my dogs that I've been building with, and let's go to work. And he went to work for 383 yards, 7 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He only got sacked once too. That's big. Butterfield had 329, 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions. He was sacked 7 times. Buffalo, this is scary, bro. And this is what I mean by those guys over here in the AFC, because they make statements in their last games going into the playoffs like this. And this is not a comfortable situation for anybody that's over here because of the way these guys attack. You saw the Broncos go crazy on their last game, and now the Bills went crazy on their last game. I mean, 7 sacks in the game is a lot of sacks. 6 interceptions, 7 sacks. It's a lot of work that defense did over there. I mean, Weber also carried the ball and had 92 yards rushing in this game as well. It really wasn't a run game in this game at all. And what we saw from the Buffalo Bills all year was the Evan Pryor show. Now, fuck, how smart was that?
To draft Evan Pryor?
Mm-mm. To make him the future of your offense for 16 games.
Yeah, well, it's just Evan Pryor was one of the fastest running backs in the draft, and the Bills they play with speed. That's what they do. So to go through the lumps and bruises now, to hopefully get him an upgrade or get him an unlock. Not sure what he's on, but now it's that time. Now it's time. Now you can't cheat. Now you can't pit 7, 8 people in coverage. You gonna have to play him honest,
Yeah.
or he can run it with Evan Pryor. So it's all just about coaching.
I thought to get that man the action he needed to get you ready for the playoffs as well too. Um, well, we saw Deion Smith go crazy all year for the Dolphins. Is this the system thing, or the Dolphins have something sweet with Deion Smith? We saw this same story with Waddle. We also asked who's going to replace Waddle. Well, the replacement is sitting right here, Deion Smith. He was second in the league in receiving yards, 4 catches. He had a touchdown today, 144 yards. It seems like when they do find their number one receiver, he's hard to stop. Tight end had 76 yards. You had Marcus McLean, the HBCU player from Southern, had 3 touchdowns. Hudson Wolf, another rookie pickup, tight end dog too. And the still, Rayshawn Hendricks, the still from the Chargers. 1 catch, 51 yards. You use that 98 speed, 98 excel, 6'3" frame, and you find a way to get him down the field. Let's look at the sacks and let's look at the All right, Barno been sacking guys all year. He had 3 today. Jack Kaiser comes out of nowhere and gets 2. Kitchens has 1. Isaiah Butler did it for the Dolphins, and Chance Williams. He had a hell of a draft, bro. Oh my god. All right, we look at the interceptions. Barno had 1. Aubrey Miller, Jackson State had 1. Niles Kidd stepped up. Kalon Barnes is there. Isaac Teller Stewart, the Speed Demons, the 2 Speed Demon corners. And Junior Levine, the veteran in the group. And then Kamari Lassiter from Georgia, another fast corner. All had INTs in this game. Week 18. I think the Bills came in and did it their way, though. And the last game, scariest game. No, this game was fucking. I don't even want to talk about this shit, fuck. But I'll give you guys a laugh right now because I don't think we threw the ball one time in the second half of this ball game. So as you can see, a 10-10 score. The Cleveland went up, scored 14, only scored 7 in the second quarter. We down 24-17 going into halftime. We score 14 unanswered. They go 14 in the fourth to our 10. We win the game 41-38 by kicking a field goal to win the game. But in the process of that, what you saw was a Matt Corral. I don't know if you can call this a breakout game, but playing against the number 1 defense in the league, and he throws for 419 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Anthony Iverson was held to 60.6. I mean, he couldn't throw the ball in the ocean today. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked 1 time, and we decided, fuck it, we're not throwing the ball. But you could do that when you got to beat John Robinson. Again, when we talked about running backs that were traded for, is this the biggest trade that happened this year, boss?
Yeah, I think the Falcons and Ravens really helped themselves in the trade market this year, man. They both added to their team that propelled their team to great performances.
I mean, you look at Tion Pitts over there for the Falcons. You look at Jaden Daniels over there, E.J. Smith over there. You got the linemen over there that they got. I mean, the Falcons really retooled. They got 3 starters, and 2 of them are super efficient in what they're doing right now. And then, we got Bijan Robinson. I mean, 27 carries for 277 yards. He averaged 10.3 a pop. And all those yards came in the second half. 3 touchdowns to seal the deal, man. I think that's a big statement for the Ravens to know that they got a guy that they can rely on when things get shitty.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
and this loss for the Browns, I think the Browns can, no moral victory here, but they got to hold their head high, knowing that they went toe to toe with the Ravens, and the fact that how they went toe to toe with the Ravens should be able to carry over into the playoffs. Moody is still having he didn't have a bad day on the ground. I mean, 13 carries at 5.5 yards to carry, 71 yards. But the receiver Schwartz went crazy, 4 for 124. He took it to young Travis Hunter today, man. That's a win for him. Seemed like he made he got open on Hunter all game. All game long, all game. Now, with the moment you're waiting for, drum roll, please. Who the fuck's in the playoffs? Where they at? Let's go make sure injuries is off so all these guys don't get hurt while we advancing. Those guys that didn't play their games. I like doing week 18 advance live because we get to see firsthand what Madden thinks. While Skip is shooting shit up on Call of Duty. Skip. All right, injuries off. Let's go set the wins. Make sure everything's straight. Schedule up. And we will see who are the award winners in just a few minutes. All right, Rams Steelers away. Vikings Bears away. Let's go. Packers Chiefs away. Cowboys don't want the win. He want the loss. Lions Chargers force win. Lions. Panthers football team 50-50. Saints Seahawks 50-50. No. 50. No, he said he didn't want the win. 50-50. And you're looking at Bills Dolphins. Browns Ravens. All right, we're good. So let's go back. Bang bang. Bang bang. Away. Cool. Home, full. Away, full. Really don't matter. Really don't matter. And we're out of there. All right, fellas, we got to see what this playoff tree look like for real. Drum roll, please. All right, let's go to the view playoff bracket right away. Here we go. Now we get to talk about matchups for real. And the number one seeds are as follows. The Arizona Cardinals get back to first seeds. And the Ravens are sitting at first seeds. They both have the first week bye. And nothing really changed. Everything stayed the same. If you look at both sides, nothing changed. So the Raiders stayed at 7. The Browns stayed at 6. And the Dolphins stayed at 5. So in our matchups here in the AFC, 2 versus 7, Broncos, Raiders, divisional matchup. Browns travel to Buffalo, AFC East, and the AFC North matchup. And then the AFC South will be taking on the AFC East as they got 2 teams into the playoffs, and the Dolphins are back in the playoffs. That's important, folks, because through the struggles that the Dolphins had for the last couple of seasons, they're back.
Yeah,
And they're back with a quarterback that nobody looked at and said, now it's who is this guy? So it comes down to matchups, and we'll talk about them. Now the Bucks will take on the Lions, 2 versus 7, and the NFC East will play each other for the 3rd time this year, Giants and the Eagles. And this is my game that we're gonna circle in a second. The game that you should look for fireworks to happen in is the Packers, the Falcons game. Both are shoot it out teams. Both of them are throw the ball all over the park team. Both of them dial up shot plays, and they like to take the shots. So this is a good matchup. I really like this matchup right now. The NFC matchup's pretty solid right now. But let's talk about right here the importance of the Giants and the Eagles game. Eagles are traveling back to New York state of mind, and they have to take on that very hot Giants football team right now, folks. So Skip, what do you think the Eagles' mindset should be coming into this game? Skip
and stepped up. I think
win.
We got the
we
win.
want to win.
We got the win.
We got to win.
Now, all jokes aside, though, fellas. Sparky, if you're the Eagles, what do you say to your team?
Man, it's time. It's time for us to show everybody that we not the second place team in this division. The Giants, they came off a season where they had a lot of turmoil the first couple of weeks, but somehow they got this team to just come together. It's kind of amazing, actually. He was down to 35 players at one point.
Yeah. Guys was on strike over there.
I think they came down with the COVID and they kept it hush-hush,
Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers running around here unmasked and shit, touching everybody and shit.
Yep.
Goofy as hell. I'm going to tell you like this. You need DT and you need that. This is what the Eagles cannot do this. The Eagles can't get in this game and forget that Zeus has carried this football team just as well as that quarterback had. And I know it's the same old song in the playoffs, but I'm going to tell you like this. The Giants don't have no problem giving their running back 30 carries. Or he might talk that shit. Guys running the ball 25 times, but when the game matters, his running back gets the ball 25 to 30 times a game. So I think the Eagles got to match that energy. They got to better run the ball. They got to match that energy, and I'm going to say it like this. For them to win this game, Darren Thomas got to be special. And I don't mean special and mistakes. I mean special. Mistake-free and special. Can you see an upset in this game, folks?
I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, the Giants are going to play their style of football.
Their style of football?
Their style of football of not making mistakes and controlling the tempo, controlling the clock. Timely shot plays, timely passing plays. But other than that, they're gonna control the possessions, control the line of scrimmage, and I just think the Eagles are just gonna be what they always are. They're great. They're good, middle of the road team, but they're not ready for that upper echelon. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong. Hopefully I'm sparking a fire and Rob. That prove me wrong, but I just don't see it. I think the Giants is going to win big. I think the Giants are going to win by 20 plus points.
Whoa. In the playoffs. Skip, do you see the same shit coming, or are you calling an upset here?
No, I think the Eagles have a real good chance of winning this game.
Okay.
If they stick to their game plan and not let the Giants beating them all the time get in their head.
The one thing you gotta know is that they're familiar with each other, and I agree with you. I think the Eagles can't come into this game upset of knowing that the Giants have done their homework. The Giants are gonna know 90% of your play calling. He's gonna better run 90% of your play calling, and he's gonna better defend it. It doesn't mean you can't do you still can't run your plays. Like you gotta better stay comfortable within your system. They better beat this Giants team. I think if the Eagles can come in and Darren Thomas can control, be a game manager in drives and a game winner in drives in this ball game, I think they can pull it off. I don't know if I'm ready to call the upset here, but I do think they have a flying shot. Do you see 20-point victory for the Giants? Skip?
No, I see 10 points or more. Around 10 points. Two scores, 10-point game.
Go ahead. Come on, Skip. Be
Skip?
real. Skip, stop sugarcoating because you got to play this guy.
It's going to be a little butt ball in there. I'm telling you, it's going to be a butt ball, methodical game on both ends.
Okay. All right, that's that game right there. Now, I think that's the most important game, and I think it's more important for Coach Rob and that Philadelphia team. But
Prove
in the
me
wild
wrong, Rob.
cards,
Show me that you can do it. Show me you're one of the big dogs.
shouldn't we all
Real poodle.
want to tune in to the Falcons traveling to Green Bay in the winter and taking that high-flying circus act into this frozen tundra and have to deal with the Green Bay Packers on ice?
You like offense, man. Turn into that. You like offense. Please turn into that.
I mean, points will get scored in this game. Let me ask you, with the Green Bay Packers playing at home and that weather element, do you think it affects the Falcons?
Depends. It could. I mean, having the white on in the snow. It could. Very could.
All right, Skip, who you got winning this game? You got it. Both teams. Listen, first of all, let's get to it, man. When you look at the stats, right? When you go to stats and you look at these teams and the production that comes from these teams, let's talk about Big Sanders is second, third in the league in receptions. He's a 1,000-yard receiver at the running back position. That's very important coming into this game against the Falcons. And then when you look at the Falcons and the Green Bay Packers, they have multiple 1,000-yard receivers. Both quarterbacks are special. Let's talk about the quarterback. All right, so Dustin Crum, 6,579 yards, 60 touchdowns, 39 interceptions, 387 yards a game, 104 QB rating. But he was sacked 57 times this year. When you keep it on going and you go look at the Falcons, you're looking at Jaden Daniels comes in after week 6 and throws for 5,188 yards. All him. I ain't have a yard with Jaden Daniels. 62 touchdowns, 25 interceptions, 73%, 399, almost 400 yards a game, 125.1 QB rating, sacked 24 times, only threw 25 interceptions. So let's start there at the quarterback battle. Falk, what quarterback do you feel like has the upper hand right now in this game? Dustin Crum, Jaden Daniels.
I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels at this point in time because this lady. I just think his understanding of making plays is second to none. But I wouldn't be surprised if Crum has a big game.
All right, now when we look at their run game, which when you playing in the elements is going to be very important. E.J. Smith on 128 carries for 818, 6.4 yards a pop, 9 touchdowns, 54 yards a game. And then the Packers, Bake Sanders had 800 yards. So they both somewhere around 800 yards and almost 10 touchdowns with their running backs. These two teams don't want to run the ball. They don't really want to run the ball. They want to line up and throw the ball all over the park. But how important it is, Skip, for them to establish a run game in this game?
Not important at all.
You don't think so? You think neither one of them don't have to? They can come right
come
out and play.
Who secondary plays the best?
Fuck the offense. Who's going to better stop
I mean,
the offense?
you know what you're getting on both ends on the offense, so it's about who defense comes to play.
I like that because the Atlanta Falcons defense and Big Von Burley, the interception leaders of the whole entire league with 20-something picks, going to have to stop a 1,000-yard receiver in Jeremy Shockey, J.R. Shockey. They're going to have to stop Treylon Burks, who had 1,225 yards. They're going to have to stop the running back, Bake Sanders, out the backfield, that had 1,202 yards. They're going to have to stop Calvin Austin III, the slot demon, who had 1,150. They're going to have to stop Donald Driver, who's actually their number one receiver, who had 1,097 yards. Falk, this look like you.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 receivers over 1,000 yards.
It's impressive, man. It's impressive.
And on the flip side of that, the Green Bay Packers defense is going to have to stop Tion Pitts, who had 72 catches from 1986, 27 touchdowns. Roderick Smith, who has 62 catches, 1893, 26 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, who had 77 catches for 1651 and 17 touchdowns. Jalen Fort, who has 70 catches for 1,007, 8 touchdowns. E.J. Smith out the backfield said, anything you can do, I can do better. 67 catches for 880 out the backfield, 13 yards a catch and 7 touchdowns. I mean, the offense of weapons and the way they distribute the ball to their weapons is spectacular. This is back in the day football right here, Falcon.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's impressive, man.
Wow. So when Skip just said this is going to be about whose defense can stop the other team's offense, he wasn't lying with this shit right here. This is using your roster right here at its best. You saw that between the Packers with 5,000-yard receivers and the Falcons damn near got the same shit popping over here. I mean, this should be fireworks. So with that being said, whose defense can stop? I mean, they both got good. Tom Fox is second in the league in sacks. They got Green, the safety, who's second in the league in interceptions. And then when you look at the Falcons, they got Big Von Burley leading the league in interceptions with 20 plus. And then you got Pat Teller coming off the edge who can get to the quarterback. Should be fireworks, man. Very interesting games. Very, very interesting games. Very interesting games. All right. How about the Bucks and the Lions game? What do the Lions have to do to come in there and get an upset over the Bucks? Is there anything that they can do?
Keep the Bucks off the field.
Man, it's really like this is a hard matchup. But if I'm the Lions, I come into this game with no worries at all. It is what it is. We at 7 seed. Let's go shock the world. There's nothing else really to talk about. Let's just go shock the world. Because we know on any given Sunday anything can happen, so we have to have that mentality to go in there, play loose, not give a fuck, and really go out there and try to take the Bucks all the way out. Do some shit nobody's expecting. Try to keep this game close. Get to the fourth quarter and see what happens, in my opinion. But the NFC side is some fireworks over here for sure. All right, so the Broncos and the Raiders are going to meet for the third time. What can the Raiders do, Falk, in your opinion, to upset the number 2 seed?
Do what they do. Do what they know to do. Run that ball, control the clock.
All night long. All night. Is anybody calling a young loss? Is anybody ready to gamble in Vegas? That's all I'm asking. Is anybody ready to gamble in Vegas and say that they can win this ball game? That they will win this ball game? They will upset the Broncos? Anybody ready to go on record and say that?
Mm.
All right, now so I'm gonna tell the Raiders the same thing I just said to the Lions. Got to go into this game with nothing to lose, man. There's nothing. Nobody's expecting y'all to win. So go into this game and go shock the world. It's just that simple. Go shock the world. You know what you got on your hands? That you've been here before. You came into the playoffs. Nobody expects nothing out of you, and you upset the Bills.
Right.
Come in with that same mentality. Under the radar. You know, you are playing a familiar opponent who's played you a lot, but come into this game and just let it flow and do what you got to do. How about this matchup, Falk? Bills, Browns. You like this matchup? Well, he passed out. What about Skip?
Skip.
Skip.
Yeah,
Skip.
I like the Bills Browns. I think the Browns is the Browns the team that gave up the same amount of points on points for and points
Yeah.
against.
Yep.
If they can plug that hole in that leaky defense, this might be a good game.
I think I can tell you like this: the weather ain't going to affect neither one of these teams at all. But I will say this: the weather will have to produce a run game here. And I like Tony Moody. That's all I'm gonna say. I like Tony Moody a lot in this game on the road in the snow. I like Tony Moody a lot because here's the thing: the Buffalo Bills got 12 running backs over there, all capable starters. But Evan Pryor seems to have been the guy getting all the carries. Will he be the guy carrying the ball in the playoffs? If so, you're asking a diaper dandy to go out there and be special in the elements. So I do think there's an alert here. I'm not saying it's a scare, but it's an alert here. Um, Buffalo should be comfortable at home, in my opinion. Should win a closer game than they expect to win. Anybody else calling for the upset here?
Nah.
So far, all the home teams supposed to be winning. And that's what we see right now. Now, how about this game? Jaguars, Dolphins, 4 versus 5 seed. Skip, shed light on this game, Skip.
Dolphins coming off a very tough loss, week 18.
Yes, sir.
Jaguars are pretty strong. You know, they back at the top of their division. This might be a better game than a lot of people expect.
I think it'll be a good game, but I got the Jags pulling it out.
Yeah, I got the Jags winning also.
Not so fast, my friend. I think young Jason Butterfield gonna come into this game. They in Florida. They all comfortable. Neither one of these teams traveling that far. You know, arrangements to get their kinfolk to the game is gonna be easy. And the Dolphins are gonna be comfortable in this game. What I do know is this: if you can't stop the Jaguars from running the football, you ain't winning the ball games. That's simple. Is the quarterback connection with Deion Smith ready to be able to make it happen against that Jaguars secondary? There's some veterans in that secondary, so we're looking at young gunners versus veterans. I don't know. I can't call the complete call to upset, but I'm not going to ignore the upset either. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Close ball game. Oh, my God. Jaguars win the ball game close. All right, that's our playoffs. At this point right now, guys are probably hitting their opponents up. And guys is probably ducking their opponents right now. Oh, shit, he just hit me. I ain't trying to play this shit till Thursday. Well, I ain't ready, coach. You know the Giants is already watching film. He been watching film during the whole show. What about the fucking awards winners, man? Let's go see what happened over there with the awards winners, man. Stats and awards, man. Stats and awards, man. Our league MVP is as follows. Tremaine Bass wins the MVP for the second time in a row. Shout out to young Ray Ray. Coach Ray Ray over there, Tremaine Bass. Jaleel Ruggs had a second place voting. Anthony Iverson dropped the third. B. John stayed at fourth. And the AFC, who's the coach of the year real fast? And it goes to Joe Judge again. AFC best offensive player was Tremaine Bass on offense. In the NFC, the best offensive player was Jaleel Ruggs. Anybody want to argue that? Do y'all think Jaleel Ruggs was the best offensive weapon this year? in the NFC?
I don't think he was.
I kind of like Nico.
I
I
don't think
thought
he
Nico
was, but I think
was the
it's,
best
you know,
player.
their system in Tampa Bay is designed for Ruggs to, even on a down year, he's gonna get 50 touchdowns.
I agree, man. I agree. All right, defensively, defensive player of the year, Big Von Burley. Big Von Burley had a big year, man. We haven't, Big Von Burley, I don't think had double-digit interceptions his first 8, 9 years in the league, and all of a sudden he's at 20 something, to win the defensive player of the year in the NFC right now. This is the effect of a user, simple as that. Um, this is a statement. He still has it when it comes down to using. So shout out to Big Von Burley. AFC Defensive Player of the Year award goes to Armar Barno, the sack leader. You know how hard it is to take Caught Young out of the sack department? I mean, it looked like he was sure fit for this every season, the way he, gets to the quarterback. And then you see the speed of an outside linebacker that's the fastest in the league makes it happen. So shout out to Armor Barno. All right. The Offensive Rookie of the Year, Evan Pryor, another Buffalo Bill. He's loading these trophies up right now. And the NFC, your Rookie of the Year was Nico Amaliva. Quinn Ewers, number 2 on this list. 2 quarterbacks that will be playing in the playoffs, Typer Dandies. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC, Sony Styles. All right, I'm going to need you, Skip. What made Sony Styles the best defensive player in the NFC?
He could play every position on defense. One week he here, next week he's there, here, there, everywhere. Tony Styles.
Oh, McDallas had a star. E-I-E-I-O. And on that star, he had a tweener.
A
E-I-E-I-O. Play D in
interception
here.
fumble recovery there,
D in
sack
here,
there,
linebacker there. Here sack, here pick, here sack. Oh, McDallas had a star. E-I-E-I-O. Sony Styles, man. Shout out to the Cowboys, though, knowing how to pick a player and pity Merriwear. Simple as that. AFC, we saw a lot already. We saw Jonathan Flo, Defensive Rookie of the Year, goes to the number 2 pick in this year's draft. Jonathan Flo. Another guy that can play multiple positions. Travis Hunter is sick right now. Nigga number 2. Fuck. All right. Best quarterback in the AFC, Anthony Iverson, did it well this year. Best quarterback in the NFC goes to Ray Wills. Falky, why is Ray Wills over top of Nico?
I think too many turnovers. Again, Ray Wills, great season, but less turnovers. Man. I think he might got like 10, 12 picks on the season. Nico had that in 3 games against, certain users. So it's just something that he got to, work on next year. And, he should be always in the mix, though.
We haven't seen Ray Wills play football for 2 full seasons, and all of a sudden emerges as the Tampa Bay starting quarterback in the trade with the Las Vegas Raiders. And he comes over. How do you like the transition from Bradshaw to him, Paul?
I think it gives the Bucks an added threat of mobility. When guys sit on routes, they can cheat. But you got to spy and just make sure you're paying attention because he will take off and run.
Look at the motherfucking wheels. All right. Best running back in the NFC is Jaleel Ruggs. All right, I'm going to argue this. Touchdown, best guy in the league. But I do think Zamir White was the best running back in the NFC this year. Sorry, Craig, not taking away from your award. Your guy won it. But I think overall production, the next 2, in my opinion, could have fought for this award. And should have been respected because they should have counted the yards as well as touchdowns. But Ruggs, listen, man, he's a red zone definition of red zone threat. True or false?
True.
And the guy has it, man. If he can stay healthy, he is a problem. It's so hard to make an argument for the Bucks, like who's their guy, because Ruggs always seems to show up, man. Always seems to show up. You got a guy like that, man. You got a safety net. And when you have a safety net like that, it gets it done. We love Jaleel Ruggs, man. All right, the AFC's running back is drum roll, Jermaine Pass. All right, Bass. Listen,
Did Jermaine no pass? What you say?
oh yeah, Jermaine Jermaine
No
no
bad, no
pass. Yo, my bad. I'm gonna argue this one too. I think B. John Robinson is the best running back in the AFC right now.
I'm biased.
Bias. What we talking about here, Coach? Coach. But flowers to Jermaine Bass. Listen, bro, you bought the MVP home. You bought the best running back award home as well. All right, best wide receiver in the AFC is Deion Smith. Dolphins, Deion Smith. Hit him, man. Is this a system award for him, or is this Deion Smith?
I think it's a combination. I mean, you can be special, but if you're in the wrong place, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
So with him being in the perfect system that Ruggs laid out, I think it worked out for him.
Yes, sir. Filling the shoes of Waddle right now and doing it well.
Yeah, Waddle, not Ruggs. Waddle, my fault. Yeah, Waddle.
How about sophomore Boo McCoy winning the wide receiver award over Malachi Wideman, Tian Pitts, and Roderick Smith?
Well deserved.
I do too. I thought this was a statement for he came back and did what you did as with your quarterback that one year. Oh, y'all think it's all computer games? Okay. I made a statement this year, man. Almost 3,000 yards receiving, 36 touchdowns. Wyman was right behind him with 32 touchdowns, as we saw Tian Pitts numbers. So the receiver room over here, if you look at the receivers in the NFC, let's look at all 10. Brew McCoy, Malachi Wideman, Tian Pitts at 3, Roderick Smith at 4, Josh Downs at 5, Poohan at 6, Kaylon Stokes, Richard Schwartz, Dean Brackens, Troy Franklin. And then go back to the AFC and look at their receivers. Deion Smith, Jackson Smith-Njigba, David Bell, Jermaine Pierre, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jameson Williams, Anthony Schwartz, Tyquan Thornton, Chris Poole, and Danny Gray. Who got the better receivers?
NFC.
Bias.
I think
Bias. Y'all top 3 better than our top 3, Shan? So y'all top 3 better. So Brew McCoy better than Deion Smith. Malachi Wideman better than Jackson Smith-Njigba. And the third nigga, Tian Pitts, is better than David Bell. I agree. I think so. I agree. All right. Offensive lineman. Is anybody on record right now willing to say that Pat Falk isn't the best lineman of all time? Since I hear crickets and gun shooting in Call of Duty, that means he's the
I
best
don't think you got
offensive
an
lineman of all
argument
time.
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say you're not.
there. Yeah.
All right, in NFC, it looks like Clay Oates does it again. Number 1 wins the offensive lineman award. Shout out to Clay. Defensive lineman Thad Carmichael is still getting it done. Falk, this was a case of you move your special DN to D tackle and the ladder of his career. You kind of trended with that a couple discs ago. You started doing that, and it shows affection. I'm not saying that he saw you do this because he's new to the leagues, period. But moving a DN to D tackle on the latter end of his career can really extend his career. Again, all I'm saying is we saw this before. But Thad Carmichael, man, late down the stretch. In that Giants game, he had 4 sacks. This is big. It's a big award right there. And the Cowboys with Sammy Nichols, who's the same type of player, DN or D tackle, at number 2 right behind him. So shout out to the Bucks for winning the Best Defensive Lineman award. The AFC, the Best Defensive Lineman is Colt Young. Bryce Ware gave it a nice fight along with Desmond Evans. They both gave it a good fight. But Colt Young, the user, does what he always does. Lock down that award. And just know this: if he wasn't missing his last like 4 or 5 games, I don't know if he didn't win. He won't win the sack lead award. I don't know. I think he can win it. Best linebacker is Barno for sure in the AFC. Best linebacker in the NFC was Tom Fox. Green Bay Packers, man. Shout out to Warpaint. And now the best DB in the NFC is Big Von Burley, the interception leader. And the AFC, you are looking at Trent McDuffie, the starting cornerback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Held off Lance Norman and late push for them to win this award. There's your award winners, man. Check out your Pro Bowl guys, man, to see who made it to the Pro Bowl earlier than the Pro Bowl. Now let's see who won the stats stuff that goes on around the league right now. And the best passer in the league this year was Nico. I'm a believer. 6,592 yards. Shout out there. Crum was second. Butterfield was third. Ray Wills was fourth. And Darren Thomas was fifth. Shout out. Your touchdown guy. Obviously, you're looking at the same guy. Nico was number 1. Allen Iverson's son, Anthony Iverson, was number 2. Bryce Young was number 3, tied with Jay Daniels. And then there was Butterfield, tied with Ray Wills. Crum ends off at 5. Rushers. I mean, need we talk about the carries anymore? We saw it. But your leading rusher obviously was Tremaine Bass with 3,049 yards rushing this year. And second was Bijan Robinson, 2,923. And Jawan Springs had 2,496. And you only had 3 guys that touched that 2,000-yard mark, with J.C. Fields almost on it. But 3 guys had 2,001 with 3 touchdowns. Obviously, you know who won that. 48 for Jaleel Ruggs, Tremaine Bass 43, Springs had 34, Bijan Robinson 30, with Zeus Zamira White 28. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Wide receivers. Most catches in the league this year was Boo McCoy. 118. Troy Franklin had 105. Diaper Dandy. No, 2 years in. Deion Smith, 97. Pierre had 97 catches. Bake Sanders had 94. Brackens had 91. And J.R. Shockey at 84. Yeah, I mean, I'll be here all day if I had to go how many guys touched 1,000 yards this year as a receiver. So we're just going to talk about the top 3. Boo McCoy had 2,964. Deion Smith had 2,233, and Malachi Wyman touched the 2,000-yard mark for his second season, 2,028. When it comes down to touchdowns, my joystick always fucking dying. Let me charge this bitch real fast for a cop out on this. Here we go. But I'm not down my nose. All right, so TP. Let's go look at the touchdowns right now, man. All right, Boo McCoy 36, Malachi Wyman 32. Tion Pitts with 27, Roderick Smith with 26, Jackson Smith-Njigba 22, Deion Smith with 21. They was your 20 club, the 2020 club guys right there. On the defensive side of things, right now, tackles, we're not talking about guys that didn't play their games. We're only talking about guys that were. So Shaq Presley had 132, very impressive. Tackle for losses are going to go to Pierre Ford with 25. That's a lot this year, 25 of them things. Sack leader was Barno for show, 28. Thad Carmichael, 22. Bryce Ware, 20 and a half. Tom Fox with 20 and a half. That's the 20 club guys. INTs, looking at who? Big Von Burley had 22. Trent McDuffie had 14. Marquise Breeston had 13. Lance Norman at the cornerback position had 11. Graham from strong safety had 11. Yeast, another free safety, had 11. And Solomon Craig with 10. Young Diaper Dandy Elijah Clark with 10. Dijon Warren had 10 as well for the Titans. Petrie had 10. And they were your double-digit club in reception guys. Deflections. 18 from Travis Gilmore. McAllister, the second, had 15. Derek Stingley had 15. I don't know why they don't show him. At 16. Derek Stingley at 16. So he's second on this list behind, in front of McAllister. I mean, so let's go back. NFC, make sure nobody misses him. He Lawrence, Sauce Garner. Okay, let's get back to the league and back to this award. 18, 15. So we Stingley will be in second, McAllister third. And then there's Craig Williams, the my player, with 13. Key Lawrence with 12. Malachi Moore with 11. Barron with 11. Mullins with 11. Sauce Garner with 11. 10 from Elijah Clark. Gregory Great at 10. Anthony Israel still doing it. 10 of them. And Deuce Chestnut, the diaper dandy, at 10 as well. Forced fumbles. Eli Ricks, the cornerback for the Texans, had 4. Zion Ali had 4 for the Cowboys. Matt Kunuka had 4. And then a whole host of 3s. Let's go to the touchdowns. Who took shit back to the crib. 4 for Big Von Brelly. He's the interception lead, touchdown guy this year. That's your stats. That's your games. That's this year's regular season. One more is down the drain. On our way to draft class 5, season 5. The postseason starts now. Good luck in your games. Good luck in the wild card. We're out of here.